Glad to be here again on another valuable talk on money, business, and investing. Actually, we were doing a live stream and I found out the microphone was off. It ran out of battery. So I went ahead and stopped that live stream so you can watch the replay until the time that it gets cut off, and then you can jump on this one or stay in this one. If you're new to our community, welcome. We're going to be speaking about the different levels of investor and piggyback on what we left off this week and as much the last live stream that we did. So we're speaking about the importance of extrinsic value in our brands, and the only way to have that happen is by protecting our niche. So when we're building a business, we gotta build a brand, otherwise we're building a commodity. And investors and money likes things with intrinsic value, something that will grow in profit, is scalable, and it has expendability and is legally protected. That's why knowing how to put a team together, how to speak the language of money. We also spoke about that aspect of business, having the right lingo. That was our live stream that we did yesterday, or the last time we were live before today. We're doing a 30-day challenge, so we're going to make sure we're delivering on our message, which is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education. Made simple, we're looking for opportunities to build passive income and true wealth. That's the mission of Master Investor, and every partner, every product that we have with us is to increase your asset column, increase our asset column with real assets that we control, that you control, right? As a collective, you control because you have a company, and that company has a financial statement, and that company controls assets, and you control that company 100%. So on your financial statement, that company is making you this X amount per day on positive cash flow and capital gains, this amount if it's an asset that creates capital gains. We're focusing on passive income. If you're starting now investing, it's better to actually understand how money works, right? Begin with that, invest in your financial education, and then focus on passive income, because the assets that will produce passive income are the ones that are going to help you escape the rat race if you want to retire from a job, if you want to quit your job because you want to do other things and spend your life living through purpose instead of working at a job that you hate. A lot of people can never get out of the rat race, and they hate that job the entire life. They left their loved ones at home and everything that they love behind. So if you want to take advantage of the opportunity that we're offering here, go get our ebook, How to Build Cash Flow with the Internet, Turn Passive Income On. It is going to change your life forever. It's going to help you understand the need to invest for passive income in capital gains income, and how you can do that successfully by raising capital, which is the job number one of an entrepreneur. Rule number one of entrepreneurship is to stay in business. So whatever we're doing, whatever we're starting now, we have to maintain that in business by building the company or acquiring a company that is built to raise capital because it's serving a solution into the marketplace successfully and is actually delivering that, right? And we're getting the profits every day. So it's all set on autopilot. We can see it because we're measuring it based on passive income, which means those are real facts. That is what's happening with that company today. This is how much cash flow is making right now, instead of measuring it with capital gains income. Majority of investors that are uneducated, and they're not really investors, they're traders, they speculate the markets and they bet on future events in the hopes that if it happens, this is what will be the gain. That is risky, and there are some occasions that you can minimize risk and actually cash flow even from down economies. And today we're going to see that being a qualified investor, which is an inside investor, a master investor, always understands how the economy works and how money works, so we cash flow in any type of economy. So you want to equip yourself with the best tools, the best resources, and the insider information. And that's what we were talking about on the last stream, which was like creating the deal so that we are in the deal, we have the insider information, we cash flow the most, and we actually reach infinite return on investment, which is when we have no money in the deal and we're recouping that money over and over again. So we're controlling the asset, and that asset is creating passive income over and over again, even though we have no none of our capital invested in that asset. It has already returned all of our capital back, and now it's just creating passive income in the form of infinite return on investment. Okay, and that's the holy grail. We can do that successfully online today. I think the internet is a great start for anyone to begin building their asset column, understanding the new rules of money. You can actually get the education online like you're doing right now, right? Go through our ebooks and begin to follow the steps inside there. Get yourself a capture page. We talked about that on the live stream. Those are the 3 steps. Number 1, get a capture page to create passive income online. Number 2, have an email autoresponder so that we can collect those emails from that capture page, and we're going to market and provide value to them regarding the solution and the topic that they sign up for. They're looking for information or solution. Those are the 2 types of people that exist in the internet right now. We either looking at information or we're looking for a solution. Okay, so learn how to really multiply your greatness by reaching out and being great to other people, and understanding that life is all about choices. You have to make choices today, and your choices are either good or either bad or maybe okay, and you have to live with the regret. So don't ever do something today that you'll regret tomorrow. Think ahead, and if you have some regret, then you need to communicate it, and you need to talk with the other person, or whoever, right? So you need to really, communication is key in anything, like business partners, personal relationships. It has to have an open line of communication, and the cycle has to be ethical, and if there's anything that needs to be resolved, then communication needs to happen so that reality and affinity can rise. We are in control over our decisions, and we can also improve ourselves and learn from the past, and and make amends. So whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're making a mistake in your business, then you're making amends to yourself. You're saying, I'm not going to do that again because I made a mistake on that. And if I would have purchased this ebook, or if I would have done this, I would probably avoid that mistake, because within the works of people that have been already where we want to be, they can show us the path and help us avoid mistakes that delay the process a little bit. And it's okay to learn. We have to fail to learn. So there's nothing wrong with failing as long as we learn the lesson. Okay? So just make sure that you are learning constantly, expanding, live above your means, think of and create assets, right? What are ideas, passions that you have that you can monetize right now, that you can create a product and you can serve the market because they need this product, they have this problem, and you can see them because it's obvious, and you can visit Facebook forums and find them everywhere talking about what they have, the issues that they have, and then we build the product and we serve the market, the need. And we're going to do that on autopilot. So once we have the autoresponder, that's the step 2, which is a system which allows us to send emails and broadcast emails personalized to each individual in that list. We can communicate with them. We can see analytics, who opens the emails, who read the entire email, who click in the links within the calls of action within the email, embedded in the email, so that they can make a purchase of the solution whenever they're ready. Encouragement. Some people take 27 points of contact before they actually even make a reaction. And so we have to be patient and provide value to them, always give value to them, educate them. And they're going to notice that we are the authority that they need in order to go ahead and do business so that they can solve the problem. Okay? And some people might take years before they even decide to do business, but they're going to be watching the emails as they come through to their inbox as we provide value using the email autoresponder. The email responder can also help you create the landing page in less than 5 minutes, and you can find references of email responders that we recommend inside the ebook, How to Build Cash Flow with the Internet. You can also have everything on autopilot. So that's the goal, to create passive income even while you're sleeping, even while you're working out, while you're doing life, the things that you love to do, and have those assets. And we're going to have to be speaking about money, because if we truly striving for wealth, we have to master the topic of wealth. So speaking about money, speaking about wealth, and how to create passive income and capital gains income with the different asset classes that exist today is something that we need to speak about on a daily basis. And as much we help other people like we are doing, it also helps us grow as an investment management company. Okay, so we're giving you the insider information so that you can take the legal insider information, right? Because we are private a company, you are going to be a private company as well when you start building your first asset or acquire your first asset, and you can also use other people's products to create your first passive income stream. There on our website we have a tab, and also inside the ebook you'll be able to find the answers that you need in order to get started right away. The beautiful thing about having a digital asset is that it's fast. It happens now, and usually the systems are already created. All we need to connect the systems, put them to work, and watch the magic happens. Which is not it's not magic. We just follow the formula inside the ebook. Anyone can do as long as they keep up with the formula, the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and finish that and do it again and do it again until you get the first result, and then everything else is downhill from there. Okay, making money without us being present is an important skill to build. Otherwise, the individual will always be chasing money and behind money. Instead of making the money come to us, they're going after the money. Here at Master Investor, we don't work hard at a job for money. We know how to thrive without a paycheck. We thrive with positive cash flow from our assets, and we raise capital. Okay, so let's talk about the different levels of investors, and then I want to get into also the three types of of the losing average or in qualified investors. The losing loses on the up market, and the down market also loses. The average investor wins at the up market and loses in the down market. Qualified investors, which is an inside investor, master investor, and ultimate investor, wins in up markets, and in down markets also wins because we have financial education. Okay, so fundamental investing versus technical investing. Fundamental investing is about reading financial statements, financial literacy, basics of financials, economic forecast, okay, reading tax returns, and so forth. Technical investing is stock price and sales history, put, calls, options, techniques, short selling, and other methods. Okay, so what we want you to focus on is to have fundamental investing so that you control the assets, because we're controlling the assets. We're creating the deal. We're putting the deal together. We're bringing this deal to the bank. We're raising the capital with the investors that are interested in putting their money to work here because it makes this much money, and it's going to help everyone get their money back and create positive cash flow for us and the investors involved in the transaction. So we got to raise capital by putting a great and sound deal together because we have the financial education. When we do that, we will find the money or the money will find us. And the more history we have successfully doing it, then the money will find us even easier, because the money is always looking for that person that masters how to make money work hard. So here at Master Investor, that's what we're going to learn to do and apply it into our lives, is to make money work hard by having financial education first and foremost, and then applying that into financial knowledge through actions that are catered to build our wealth and passive income. So the first action is to go get our ebooks right now, take advantage of that, and begin to execute. And the third step of the three-step formula to creating positive cash flow online is to know targeted traffic and know how to actually get clients that are helping you get the solution, helping you get those sales through the door, because they are ready to buy that solution. They don't need to have too much educational on that solution because they already have done the research, and they are prepared to go ahead and buy. That is targeted traffic, and we can find them. We can do pay advertisement, and that's advanced strategies that we will do to make our money work hard even more and be able to achieve the velocity of excess of cash flow, right? And we talked about that formula yesterday. Number one is acquire or invest into a cash flowing asset. Number 2 is to recoup the initial invested capital back as soon as possible. Number 3 is to keep control over the asset. Number 4 is to move the generated positive cash flow into acquiring a new cash flowing asset. And number 5, repeat the formula 1, 2, 4, right? So there are 5 steps to it, and you can actually get to excess of cash flow very quickly by applying the strategies and using the information that we have available here at Master Investor, and as much everywhere, right? Everywhere where you can get your hands on regarding financial education. Is it depends on who it is, who's giving it, but Master Investor is the authentic and authentic brand of money, business, and investing. Okay, here we're giving you the new rules of money, the good and bad news of money. We're going to give you what's working today and how we can leverage ourselves to riches by using control, leverage, and the new rules of money with the capitalism mentality that works today. The old capitalism mentality is obsolete, and as much the old rules of money, they do not work anymore. We have to update ourselves with the new rules of money and begin to invest with them so that we can actually achieve true wealth. If you want total freedom in your life, you want to spend more time with your family, if you want to spend time with your friends and associates and doing things that you guys love to do, then you need to build assets or acquire assets that build passive income. And we need to get to that infinite return on investment when we have no money in the deal and we're just getting positive cash flow from the deal. From there, then we need to build more assets that will produce capital, passive income, and sometimes capital gains income. It depends on which asset class we're going to go into, but we always recommend to diversify among the 5 asset classes with financial education first, because each class needs to have an understanding of how to do it successfully, and then diversify among the 5 asset classes for passive income and sometimes capital gains income, because that's how we're going to hedge for inflation in down economies. It is how we protect ourselves from crashes, and actually we profit even more because there are assets in different asset classes that do very well in down economies, and we can acquire assets in down economies too. So we have to be prepared for the cycle of the economy to go up and down so that we can navigate through that, because it goes up and down. We don't predict the market here at Master Investor. We are prepared for any type of market, and that's what we do through financial education and daily actions. Okay, so let's go to I want to just recap on the 5 categories of investors. And before we get to the levels of investors, so let me go right here and just mention it real quick, because that's something we talked about this week. So there are 5 different categories of investor: accredited investor, qualified investor, sophisticated investor, inside investor, and ultimate investor. Okay. The inside investor is a type of investor that masters the job number 1 of an entrepreneur and a master investor, which is to raise capital, and as much the number 1 skill is to sell without selling. With systems and smart marketing, right? Because a business is a system of systems. So the 3 E's of a master investor: education, experience, and financial education. Okay, specifically financial education, experience, and excess of cash flow. Okay. And we want to be the inside investor, because that's the master investor. That's the one that knows how to put a deal together and raise capital. An ultimate investor knows how to take a company public. And we can do that in our journey towards entrepreneurship and creating wealth, because it gives us more experience. But once you are the inside investor level, you are a master investor, because you have the 3 E's of a master investor. You have assets, you live through cash flow, right? You have financial education, that's the first E. Number 2, experience. That's because we control assets actively, and then we're living through the passive income of those assets. And then number 3, we have excess of cash flow. Okay, we have those passive income coming in. We have more and more because we're creating and acquiring more assets. We're duplicating the formulas, and we're doing it again and again, and we're compounding more assets into our asset columns that puts passive income into our packets in the form of positive cash flow. And when we use debt, debt is tax-free because money is created with debt. Today, money is a currency, so that's how money works. It's created with debt, and we encourage everyone to build wealth with good debt because good debt is leverage. Okay, and when we want to get something of luxury, we can build an asset with good debt. We invest it into an asset that will produce enough positive cash flow to pay for the debt service back, to leave us positive passive income to pay for the liability or the item that we want to acquire because we want to have that experience. So we can actually get everything for free, legally and tax free, when we have financial education. Okay, so we're going to talk about the 5 different levels of investor real quick. Amateur. Let me see where we are. Okay. Okay, let me go back over here. I took some notes on that. Okay, so the first level is the novice. Investor level number 1 is novice. If there's nothing in their asset column, with no income coming in from any investments, then and they have too many liabilities, then they are starting at the novice level, number 1, right? That's level 1. Investor level 2, saver. Most people were taught that being financially responsible means being a saver. Okay, and that used to work back decades before the gold standard was separated from the US dollar, because people could save money and live off the interest. It would create enough interest. But now with inflation, which is actually a great thing for us, the ones that are financially educated, inflation makes us wealthier. Period. We use it into our advantage. It's actually a blessing in disguise. So learn how to see the signs and move with energy. Everything is energy. Okay, work on ourselves, become great, and I hope everything that you think of can be achievable. If it's to help humanity and help the world in one way or another, then that is awesome. Manifest it, pull it in, think about it as if we already have it, and then we do the actions today. We have to be that person that we want to see in the future. Okay, so always create a plan and believe that you already have what you want, and then be the person today. Take actions that are aligned with that. Okay, so saving is often a strategy for people who do not want to learn anything. Okay, anyone can save. To put their check, direct deposit their check into their savings account. Investor level 3, amateur. This level is like the 2, except it's like the level 2, except that this level invests in riskier instruments such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, insurance, and exchange traded funds. They invest in based on capital gains, which is somewhat gambling on the stock market. That's what they're called, traders, really. Investor level number 4, the professional. Very few people invest their time to learn and manage our own money. But once we get to that point, we have become a professional investor. The key to success at level 4 is lifelong learning, great teachers, great coaches, and like-minded friends. Professional investors seek answers. They often ask questions like, what do we recommend we invest in? Do we think we should buy real estate? What stocks are good for me? What stocks are good for me? We talked to our broker, and he recommended we diversify. What do we think? Our parents gave us a few shares of stock. Should we sell them? We always ask questions. We always analyze, and we can actually decide and make decisions rather than passively dump their money into a 401k, which is a fake asset because it takes money away from the person who's paying into it, and it's not putting anything back unless they withdraw the money. Professional investors interview several tax advisors, attorneys, stockbrokers, and real estate agents. Find advisors who practice what they preach and run fast from anyone who is selling investment advice and getting rich on commissions and fees alone. They look for investment advisors who make money investing in the same investments they are selling. We often find that many high-income employees and self-employed folks fall into the professional investor category because They are busy and have little time to look for investment opportunities in the way the capitalists and entrepreneurs do. Okay, so level number 5 is the capitalist. To us, being a capitalist investor at level 5 is like being at the top of the world. The world is our oyster. The world has no borders. In this world of high-speed technology, it's easier than ever to be capitalist in a world of plenty. Capitalist investors look for problems. They are looking for problems caused by those who get into financial trouble. Investors who are good at solving problems expect to make 25% plus to infinite returns on our money. They have a strong financial foundation and possess the skills necessary to succeed as business owners and investors. They use those skills to solve problems caused by people who lack such skills. For example, when we first started investing with only 18,000, can focus on small condominiums, right? And anything that is small, because we want to maybe get our feet wet, but it doesn't have to be like that, because the bigger the investment is the same energy, and it's going to be actually easier to raise capital because the banks are looking into bigger investments so that they can make more money through good debt. And it's going to also help us make passive income for ourselves after every month that payment gets made to the mortgage of the bank, the amortization schedule payment that they give us to make that payment back. Every time we make that payment, that turns into our payment too, because whatever is left, which we'll be able to crunch the numbers, that's why we're doing the investment to begin with. That's why we brought it together, because it's going to ultimately give us positive passive income every time we make a payment to the bank. So not only through there, but we get all the tax benefits. We also get other types of income that we went over them this week, phantom income, right? And it comes from appreciation, depreciation, tax benefits, and other manners and where the average investor cannot see. So it's in several different asset classes you can actually get phantom income, which is income that shows up somewhere else due to the fact of taking advantage of like appreciation or depreciation. Okay, so if we control a building and it depreciates, and now the IRS give us a tax deduction of 200, instead of those 200 going to the IRS, we kept those 200 legally, and so that is a form of income. It adds into our bottom line. Capital investors understand how to use other people's money to make great investments in multiple places, keeping money moving fast to make great amount of it. If we're at this level, keep learning and keep giving. Remember that true capitalists are generous, because a successful capitalist knows we must give more to receive more. Level up our investing. What type of investor do we want to be? Okay. One great thing about freedom is the freedom to choose to live the life we want to live, and that's what we're ultimately doing this to achieve total freedom. It's what everyone desires at the end of the day. And in order to have total freedom and not worry about working at a job to pay the bills, and work hard at a job without really enjoying the family time that you could be doing with them, due to the lack of financial education and the ability to make more money as a couple, there's a lot of divorce happening in America. It's like the number one cause, and I think around the world, is financial lack of money. So money is super important in a relationship, and working together to assist each other to grow is very important. So whatever, even your life partner is important to choose. That could really take you a whole different lifestyle. So be aligned and have the goals clear of what each person sees an ideal scene, and see if that matches. Compromise, but never compromise on our dreams, on what we want to do. So if total freedom is our goal, we need to work on that foundation, and begin to build passive income so that we can reach total freedom. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the 5 levels of investors that we have for you today. I hope that you become a capitalist, which is the one that is an inside investor or qualified investor, right? It's someone that knows how to put a business together from scratch, or can acquire an asset using other people's products, right? There are many companies online that will pay a commission every time, an ongoing commission is every time the client buys that product from them, you will get your company will get a percentage every time. So it's just one time that you brought them in because we did an advertisement and we found a targeted lead, right? They were hanging around with other targeted leads and they decided to go ahead and buy that product. And we're using other people's tools, other people's resources, and we're creating that passive income. So create a list of your own network so that you can control it and begin to put deals together, analyze investment, look at opportunities, talk to the brokers, talk to different attorneys, interview CPAs, and begin to build a team of successful people that have a specialty in the area of business that we want to address. So we need a business attorney that knows the tax code and the capitalist mentality so that he can or she can help us minimize taxes all the way to zero legally and take advantage of all the tools and the resources that we have available in the law so that we can build the economy and do great things for humanity. Okay, so at the end we can actually get wealthy for free when we have the capitalist mindset, we have the core values of the wealthy, and we also are an inside investor and master investor because we know that financial education is the first E. The second E is experience. We have to turn that information into action in order to make it knowledgeable, make that information financial knowledge is by taking action. And then once we apply it, then that means we're getting the experience. And in number 3, we have excess of cash flow. All right, with that being said, I'll leave you with this great information of today on another talk of money, business, and investing, bringing you the good and bad news of money, the business principles that work in all economies. Thank you for watching. Stay great and wealthy. And remember, today, money is created with debt. Today, money is a currency, and that is why debt is tax-free. And we encourage everyone to become good debtors because good debtors are wealthy and savers in the new economy are losers. Stay great. Bye for now.